But you can probably tell I'm very tired right now. I have dust bunnies in my car. Okay. So, I recorded a short earlier about an outcome, and it was not a very nice outcome. So, I really wanted to take some time to kind of highlight that and give a better, more in-depth reading for anybody who relates with that. Right off the bat, for the past, we have the Nine of Cups, which is nice. It's not like the past and the outcome, but how much of a story can you put in 3 cards versus 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's see. So this card got stuck right away. I feel like that's meaning something. Okay. I'm gonna have to really tap into my intuition, because this is not resembling the reading so far, but there's reasons for that. I want to get a really good picture. Okay, and then your future. Let's get some hopes and fears. I want to change the way that it says hopes and fears, because whenever I do that, really what I gotta fine line what it is exactly that I'm thinking about when I address the hopes and fears, I don't know, section. I don't really know what to call it, because it's not as much of what are you hoping and what are you fearing, but it's kind of like your mindset. It has to do with your mind. What is going to be on your mind, or if it doesn't come across clearly as that's what you're thinking about when it comes to all this, that it's something that would be good for you to think about. It's something that's either going to hold you back, or it's going to be something that can move you forward. And I feel like the key is that it lies within both. It's really just a matter of perspective, and I feel like that's why it's such an important part in this reading. We got your past, present, your future. We've got your mindset. I'm just going to call it mindset from now. I have no pen. There it is. I'm making a note of that. Sorry. I'm always like stopping to write. Okay. We have your advice, and then we have your likely outcome. Okay. Great. Good. Wonderful. Okay. So, at least I have that. For some reason, I didn't say which card the future card was. I feel like these cards are different, so they can access a lot more people. But the previous reading had death in reversed, and then for the past and for the present, it was the 5 of Cups. Something was not going right. Now here, for your past, you have the 9 of Cups. So I'm just going to kind of combine and let these 2 new cards highlight the old ones. And we'll get into this new future card, which seems to get back more into track. So if you've got the death in reverse of the 9 of Cups, immediately what I'm getting is a dashed dream. That something did not go as planned. Yeah, the star in reverse, literally like the dreamer's card. I'm just gonna stick that one up there to kind of reiterate the fact that your hopes and your wishes did not come true. Up in flames type of energy. And speaking of flames, we have the Emperor here with the 5 of Cups with the Emperor. I feel like it's somebody who's getting their shit done because they have to, but they're having a really hard time of it in the way that they're still in the victim mode. So, yes, like, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm doing this, I'm handling my responsibilities, and that's good, and that's great, you're supposed to. You know, you're supposed to be a decent person or whatever. But, like, to the point of making it a scene, like, literally finding, like, the people that are in your circle, or maybe not really in your circle, and you're still complaining to them about how much you have to do, and I do this and I do that, and I was just, I work so hard. Like, that's what it's coming across to me with the Five of Cups, that kind of sulky, grieving energy. Now, the Emperor is not in reverse, which would be like super irresponsible, very aggressive, doesn't give a shit about others kind of a thing. Because he's upright, that's why I'm getting that forward picture of poor me kind of a thing, that I have to do this and I have to do that. Like, you don't just have to, you get to. Not everybody's got the privilege of making, expensive car payments. And I'm saying that because I'm doing a reality check. That's one of the things I've done. Like, my car payment is super expensive, but it is a nice car, and it's been good to me for a really long time. But the expensive payments are really expensive, and it makes it hard to pay any other bill. So that is a good example that I can kind of keep in mind as well. Like, maybe some other things that you might find. What else is expensive in your life? Or kids, they're wearing you out, or a significant other. Like, all these rich people problems, your luxury problems. Not everybody has support. Your family might be annoying and hard to deal with, but you've got them. Your SO, your kids, your pets. Like, if you really don't want something, set up some boundaries, get rid of your stuff, sell the car and get a cheaper one, refinance. Like, there's solutions to this where you don't need to be stuck in a Five of Cups energy, grieving. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to be a little more mindful, because if this is your present, then I'm not trying to come down on anybody. I'm not trying to judge anybody. I'm trying to learn to enunciate better. I hear some of my videos and I'm like, I don't even understand myself sometimes. So I'm going to try to work on that a little more. But it is what it is. That's part of why I use myself as an example. Like, I'm just very blatant about having issues. I'm human. We're all human. And I take as much as I can to relate. Probably for different reasons. My mind's kind of going off on a little tangent there, like little rabbit trails. The fact of it is that I am wanting to help you focus on how to better your situation. Karma. That's where I was getting towards. How karma works is kind of just like a continuance of now. So if you're stuck in this kind of whining, complaining, upset, grudgy energy, disgruntled kind of a thing, that's just gonna perpetuate, because that's like a law of the universe. Like, I don't know. Oh, my fur. I was like, is my shirt spiky? What's going on back there? It's just kind of, that's just how life works. That's what karma is. It's just a perpetuation. And when you're stuck in here, how do you get out? Because what you've got coming next, as far as like the wheel goes round, seasons turn, and tables change, or whatever sayings that there's like 100 of them out there about how things are coming back. It's just karma in 8 different ways. You got the Magician in reverse. I've got a really nice affirmation here. I have all the resources I need, inner and outer. It's possible you really don't believe that. Now, saying this affirmation can help you if you think it can help you. If it just stresses you out to say a certain affirmation, it's just not the right time for it. Either figure out, that's kind of the gist of like what I'm getting here, is having solutions to all these issues that you seem to be having. Maybe trying to be a little more grateful for the load on your back, kind of a thing. The responsibilities you have are not rights. Um, they're not due to you. You don't have to have a car or a home or a family or anything. You really don't. You could be somebody in a third world country who's eating dirt because you're so hungry. That's reality. You could be locked up in a basement or halfway being murdered right now. I mean, I'm being kind of dark, but I'm just trying to be real, because there's a really stark contrast of what could be happening instead. So, take into kind of consideration the actual blessings that you have, because they don't seem to be coming across as blessings. Now, I'll give you some validation, I'll give you some kudos. My last situation I was in, financially stable. By paper, it was a stable, ideal lifestyle. I had a partner, I had my kids, there was a dog. I mean, I didn't really care for the dog, to be honest. He gave me anxiety and allergic reaction. Apparently, I'm allergic to dogs. And it was just like constant like irritation in a lot of different forms. I mean, but all of it seemed like that. And I took a lot of things for granted while I was being blinded by the shit, the bullshit. You know what I mean? I had a significant other, but I didn't have the relationship I wanted to have with a significant other. It wasn't fun. It wasn't exciting. It wasn't lovey-dovey in any way, shape, or form. It just felt like being ignored. You know what I mean? And so those are reality checks that I had to figure out. And you may be in that situation now. Are you trying to figure out, finding out that some things aren't worth it? They aren't worth the hassle. Does that make sense? If you've got friends that don't actually have fun with, you're used to hanging out, but you need to understand, like, are you really getting anything out of it? Do you really feel like your life is better because of these people, or are they just there? Because you may need to start learning how to set boundaries. Spend less time with friends that don't do good for you, or maybe you guys think that you have a lot of fun. Like, for example, I have tons of fun at work. I love my job, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm trying to have discipline for my own sense of work ethic, because when I get around my new friends, I'll get distracted and I will not do my job properly. And that's a conflict of my own work ethic. Now, that's just a matter of finding balance between maintaining a connection and then learning to just like, hey, hi, keep it short, pay attention when I need to, take advantage of different times where I could talk a little more and engage a little more instead of just kind of walking around, fixing the candy bars and stuff like that. I could take a couple of minutes to engage and build part of that relationship, because that in my life is necessary to build social connections. It's healthy to have that. And I've over time lost my ability to just go and do that. So I have to relearn. I have to. I'm human. I need that. I want that. And how do you restart? You know what I mean? So it's going to be a process for you when you're changing karma. Lucky for you, it's all you. Unfortunately for you, it's all on you. So, like I said, it's about your mindset. How are you going to view this? Like, this is like the bright idea. Lack of ideas, intellectual inability, failure, and hostility. I would suggest, I'm only suggesting therapy if you feel like it. For those of you who are going, you know what, that's the confirmation I needed. I was thinking about it, or I keep hearing that, like people literally keep suggesting I do it, and you know what? I'm just gonna try it. If in any way, shape, or form you're okay with it, it's up to you at the pace that you go, where you choose to go, or how you do it. Keep yourself at utmost control. I feel like that's important. But also to remember that ideally therapy is there for you to utilize to utilize a social support in healthy ways that you might not otherwise have. If you don't want to go, don't. I don't want anybody to feel like they're being forced or rushed, because especially when it comes to therapy and counseling and advice and everything like that, I count that as like red flags. Maybe not for the people that are suggesting it, but maybe just for me, that I'm not ready for that yet. So when it comes to the Ace of Swords in reverse, and this clarity and confusion, and these different words like intellectual inability, failure, hostility, illusion, manipulation, deception, the Five of Cups energy, the dashed dreams energy, to me, what I'm getting is this is just somebody who, if they feel the need for it, could definitely use a helping hand. Even if it's just to go vent. For a long time, I went to therapy literally just to vent. I would talk the whole time. I would tell her what I went through, how I felt, how I handled it, what I was worried about, and then she'd be like, okay, time's up. And I'd be like, okay, I'll see you next week. And that helped a lot. That really did. Like, she didn't do or say anything. She yawned a lot. And I'm just like, I've seen some of the people that come out before me. Like, I bet, I'm not the only one that just straight up trauma dumps, like, over and over and over. Like, she probably had a load to bear. And so I didn't mind her yawning or anything. I actually thought it was kind of funny. But just to have somebody, especially if you don't really have a good, healthy environment right now, I'm going to add that. I think I was supposed to have that. External environment, either way. I'm going to pull a card, and let's take a look at what's going on in your external environment. That could be your personal home life, personal work life, whatever. The things going on around you. It could be literally people that's going on around you. Let's move. Let's make some room here. I want to know not just about you and why you're struggling, but there's a lot more than just you as well. Now, you got to keep yourself a top priority because you're in charge of you. But when it comes to things you can't control, like, you're not the one who dashed your dreams. You know what I mean? You could be. Like, if you self-sabotaged or something like that. I got a little tripped up because this is the Queen of Wands for your environment. So either your environment is changing for the better, or this is a spiritual, I'm kind of getting this as like spiritual support. So I feel like it's not time to focus on what's going on around you. That's probably what tripped you up in the first place, the bullshit kind of a thing. But it's more so that the fact that you want things to change, the fact that you want to get better, Spirit has your back. With the Queen of Wands, that there's energetic, vivacious, strong. You know, it's very interesting because this is derived from a short of outcomes. Like if you had an issue and you're like, I just want to know the answer, I don't want to watch 40 minutes of someone blabber on, which is what this video is for. This just something like short and easy so you can get some kind of an answer or direction. And I did a second short because this one was a little bit depressing, and I thought, well, I want a happy one. The Queen of Wands came out for the happy one as a future outcome. So go back and you can look at the short I did right after yours, and I feel like these are really tied in together. Things are going well for you. Why did I pull out that one? Interesting. Four of Swords. You are stressed, clearly stressed. And I'm so sorry for that. That takes a toll on the body. I mean, you see this? Like, I'm like halfway asleep right now. Like, stress is a killer. Like, not even kidding. The amount of toxic chemicals, not like super toxic, but I mean like, it's not good to have an extreme amount of stress over a long period of time, because you are releasing those stressful hormones in your body, and your body doesn't run off of stressful hormones. It's like, if cars could take water, they could last if you put water in the fuel tank, and it could kind of last. But if you only gave the car water and a tiny bit of fuel, like 90% water and 10% fuel, that car would be in bad shape. You know, that would be like a human. You're getting emotional issues. You're getting insomnia, and because you're sleep deprived, now you're grouchy. And because you're grouchy, and because this has been, the past, I don't know, lifetime for you, that's just your persona now, is that you're irritable. And you really don't like that you become irritable, because once upon a time you were cool or fun, or at least had the hopes that one day you might be, you know what I mean? And that kind of irks you on a very subconscious level, constantly. And besides all the other subconscious things that are irking you, like feeling hurt, feeling sad, getting frustrated, not being validated for your frustrations. Because sometimes when you're so responsible, people don't give a fuck how you feel. They're just glad that you get shit done. And you kind of get walked on because of that, or used. You'll just get used a lot because you're strong enough to keep going. And then over time, you start ignoring yourself. Ready to move on. I can't remember the next one. Advice. For the advice, you have the King of Wands in reverse. This is not a fun person. This goes beyond irritable. Rude, boorish, forceful, bully, dictator, tyrant, impulsive, abusive, and nasty. I'm like, universe, how in the hell is that advice? These are possible topics to address. In others, Don't let them be rude to you. Don't let them dictate you. Don't let them boss you around. Find out what's your responsibility. Here's an example. My friend was talking about she's helping out with taking dog outside. Well, she wants a night to herself. So she's trying to find someone else to help take care of that responsibility. And then she was kind of being gaslighted for not doing it herself. But it's like, well, that's also not her dog. It's not her responsibility. Sure, she'll help out, but to the point where it inhibits her from living her life becomes not fair. So maintain your boundaries. Don't let somebody take too much from you or expect too much of you to the point where you don't get to be you, because you need to be able to learn how to put yourself as a priority, but also at the same time, if it goes two ways, learning what your responsibilities are. I'm just gonna pick kind of an easy example, like an old, women do the chores and men work. Well, if she's always doing the chores and you're just doing the finances, when does she get a break? Do you ever give her a break? And that could be gender fluid. Maybe you're both working. Maybe you're doing house chores all the time and the other person is working. Maybe, now here's one too. People who stay at home, and then they'll do stuff at home, but as soon as the person comes home from work, you're just like, well, help out. Now that you're home, you need to help out too. Okay, well, now that person who just got off work has to come home and work. There's balances that need to be paid attention to. So making sure that you both have time off, that you both have time to sleep, that you both have time to wind down, that you both have time to recuperate. What I mean by recuperate is by showers, bathroom breaks, eating, anything that helps refresh, replenish, and rejuvenate your body. So, and that does include downtime, sleeping, resting, and playing. If so-and-so wants to play video games, fine. Maybe you could block off a little bit of time, with the kids and the pets and the dinner or whatever, that, like you cook dinner and, help watch the kids. He's relaxing, whatever. You guys eat and then do a little flip-flop. He helps clean up and get the kids ready for bed while you relax a little bit. You know what I mean? Now, just kind of take what resonates, use the gist of the idea to see how it could work for you, because as far as advice is going, be kind, be nice, try to cheer up a little bit. Like, if you're gonna have a serious conversation, it doesn't have to be a fight. If you're gonna have a serious conversation, do not come in like the King of Wands reversed, where you're gonna name call, where you're gonna be yelling, you're raising your voice. Those are different red flags where things can be de-escalated, because at that rate, where things keep getting worse or more tense or more angry or more sad, however it is, it's not at a high vibration. In fact, it's very much so at a very low vibration. That's why it's in reverse. This is not happy. This is angry. This is pissed. This is pissed off. This is rude. This is mean. This is getting to the point where you start becoming a bully and tit for tat, and now you're petty, and now it's going to last 4 more hours after the fight because you guys are be given dirty looks. You know what I mean? This is not good energy. And if you're gonna be trying, like, it feels like there's a mild effort to want to change, but there's a hell of a lot of no-nos. Like, don't do that. This not good. Like, toxic mindsets, toxic behaviors. Now, I'm going to give a huge benefit of doubt. Like, you literally don't know what you don't know. That you're considered one of the nicer people in your family, things like that, because there's not a lot of love going around. But there's a couple of things in here that show me there is hope within you to want to change. And you can do that, because like I said, the universe itself is providing all the energy that you need, albeit you have work to do, whether it's changing yourself or your environment or both, albeit you are getting support. The heavy weight that you can't control is being gifted to you that you can change. All you got to work on is yourself. Now, here's also another reason why I have tons of hope for you, is because you've got this Hermit card for your outcome. That means you can actually access yourself. You can actually say, I want to change, and you will be able to figure it out. I have seen so many people want to heal. I'm healing, I'm growing, I'm getting so much better. And I'm like, really? Because it just seems like you don't understand what nice means. Like, you're not getting the fact that what you're doing is straight toxic. Like, are you happy right now? Well, no. Okay. So you're unhappy. Well, yeah, because blah, 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 blah. Well, stop talking about blah, 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 blah. Be happy. How can I be happy when blah, 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 blah? It's like, you see, like, they're stuck in a cycle. And sometimes I'm just like, I don't know how to help this person get unstuck. Like, I don't get what you're tripping up on, because to me it's so clear. Don't talk about it. Just don't let the word come out of your mouth, because it's negative. Pick anything nice to say. I don't have anything nice to say. Anything at all. I can offer some examples, and I would. I could literally say, just say, I am happy. And the person will blank stare me. I'm like, literally say it. I'm happy. I'm like, look, I don't know how to get that. That is someone who to me is stuck. You are not stuck. I promise you. Even if you're like, I can't tell you how many times in my healing journey I'm like, sat down and cried. I'm like, I am such a bitch. It's funny because it's been so long since I've actually felt that way. But I mean, like, I really had to work on that. Like, I was just like, man, I'm fucking toxic. And it felt like I can't control it. And it felt like, why am I like this? You know what I mean? And it's just, it was a long, hard process. And this is some deep energy. This is some really big energy. This is a major arcana card. When it comes to like finding out who the hell you are, like, buddy, you see this desert here? Have fun. I'm just kidding. I've already been through the desert and it is not fun at all. But I'll tell you what, it's worth going through. There's a reason why people like, is it revere? Is that the word? Have great and astounding respect for deserts. it's kind of like a little bit of hell on earth, if if I say so myself. But the self-respect that you learn through the hermit phase, understanding how to pull back and gain your power and just be like, I know that you think I am that way, and I know that I have acted in this way, but I'm truly trying to be different. Those things are so difficult, it's not even funny. But the strength that you have and will gain by undergoing all of these processes literally trump all the BS that's surrounding it. It's like a match in the darkness, or or like a lantern for some to light somebody's way. That's why I'm doing this reading right now. If somebody is stuck, I ain't got nothing to say. I'm just not gonna waste my breath. But to anybody that I feel has a sliver of hope, I will do what I can to help you find the way. I will do whatever I can to help make sense of all this crazy bullshit, whether it's you stuck in the bullshit, whether it's somebody else stuck in the bullshit, whether it's just straight up confusion or scary or however it feels. Like, I'm telling you, you've got hope of your life becoming brighter. Now, beyond the hermit, let's go beyond the hermit, because this is like, yay, my reading ended on me working more. Congrats, right? So I'm gonna ask, what kind of a result, like, what's gonna be your environment after, like, once you start hitting this hermit phase and you're undergoing these changes where you're being different, you're going to have different karma come back. What kind of karma are you going to experience now after the hard work that you're already putting in? This is counting towards it. Like, if you're putting money in a bank that literally just takes all your money and you don't get any of it, that's kind of what the BS is, right? 100%. Now you're going to be putting your money, your time, your energy into a bank that saves all of your money just for you. And not only does your bank let you have your own money, thank God, but that bank also pays you for giving them your money. Now that's called good karma. That's called investment and return. So it's kind of like that. Like, the more they took, the more they took. The more you gave, the more they took. It was bad. It was unhealthy. It's exhausting. Am I right? Now, like, this is what I'm talking about. It's like you can't even be defensive. What little you have, what little you have left, they just kept on taking. Like, you don't have it to give. You're negative, you don't have it to give, and they're still freaking there expecting more from you. That's a bad bank. That's unhealthy support. That's a lot of negativity. And now that you're having your boundaries, you're going to have better people around you. Now, this has gone from 4 to 2 to 1, but this 1 pentacle comes with a bright idea. The understanding of how to build security. This is the page that goes through the page, the knight, the queen, and the king. He is on royalty. So for what you have, the 4 of Pentacles and the 2 of Pentacles, like, those aren't in the court cards. So even with just this 1, when you strip yourself down, you already have so much more. You're going places. Just because you did the hard-ass job of becoming a better you, you're getting literally so much return. You've got people. You've got stuff. You've got money. You've got security. You're literally just ultimately victorious. You're just becoming a person who overcomes obstacles. You're becoming a person who is successful. You have that self-discipline. Like, that is the new you. And that is literally gonna change your entire life. I'm finally at 40. Literally, I was like, I'm finally done with this reading. Like, I feel satisfied. And as soon as I felt that way, the clock said 40 on the dot. I can't tell you how much perfection and alignment is coming your way. I literally was just doing my best to help somebody out. And if I could, with my words, my ideas and opinions, hoping to God that somebody would be like, hey, thank you, I needed that. Like, that's more than enough for me right now. And then just the fact that everything seems to be so amazing, like, in the near coming future, I'm excited. I am freaking excited. I'm like, go ahead and, like, tell me, what are you going through? Like, what's going on? I'm just like, I'm here for you. Like, share. Like, let's build a community where you're allowed to say, like, hey, I'm going through this. And people can come in and just, like, say, you know what? I'm with you. Like, I'm going through it too, or I've been through it. And, like, I'm just excited to have this journey where I'm seeing people rise up. I'm seeing people go from having a hard time with literally just being themselves to having a great time with friends. That means the freaking world to me. Where people were taking from you, you know how to give of yourself. When you have nowhere to go, bam, now you're in a chariot. I'm so happy. I really hope you guys liked this reading. I had so much fun doing it. I loved it. You guys have a great night.